So the last video I posted was about how Halloween should not be about presenting your prejudices in the form of Harry Potter, and I stand by that. Um, I do want to make a quick update and addendum about that. If your kids happen to like yes, that's my fluffy dog. If your kids happen to like Harry Potter, and they've already bought the stuff and they've been going for years, they're kids, they can't understand how bigoted the creator is, right? This is over 35 years old. And it looks brand new, doesn't it? Imagine a Harry Potter video being about a floppy dog. Anyway, okay, fuck the floppy dog for a second. Okay, so kids don't know, especially when they're super young, they can't really ascertain. Like, they get hatred. I can speak for that. Kids get hatred. We get being bullied. We get being harassed. We get being bought, especially by parents and their love. We get all that. Oh, yeah, this is my undining office shirt because I'm a filthy, filthy gay. Which should tell you why I don't support JK Rowling, because I'm trans as well, obviously. And yeah, sometimes kids are ignorant and they don't know what they're getting into because they're kids. And some innocence is fine. You can't control what the kids are exposed to and what they happen to like. As an autistic person, you don't control your favorites, they just happen. Mummy's alive. You can't control that shit. And especially for autistic kids, it's hard to make the division between art and the artist. And I'm sorry, and here's what I say all the time whenever this comes up. You cannot death of the author, J.K. Rowling. You cannot. She is making billions off of this property that she has sold. Billions. Billions. She's not hurting for money. She never will again. She's forgotten what it's like to be poor. Clearly. And despite the fact that she started off as a single mother writing in a cafe with her kid on her lap, quote unquote, theoretically, that's what the story goes. Who really actually knows what this real story is? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fabrication. But I'm not going to say it is because I have no proof of that. And it probably is true. I just think money has put fantastic horse-grade blinders onto her. And she doesn't give a shit about sending a message anymore. She just wants that money, 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 money. And fine, we all have our vices. But when your vice is responsible for the harassment and or bullying and or physical harm and or death of trans people, and you are actively lobbying for that to happen in the misled thought that you are actually protecting other queer people, when in fact you're just hurting all of us, and you're only setting yourself up with a small subgroup of right-wing queers. Like, how are we supposed to find you safe, and how are we supposed to find your product safe? Harry Potter began, in my opinion, as the series that was supposed to help the outcasts. The series that would help any social outcast feel like they belong. What I didn't realize at the time was that it only applied if you were white, cis, or het. And I'm embarrassed to look back at how many people I pushed these books on as a younger person, because when I was in high school, I got the first four books in a box set. Autism. And I loved them. I loved them. I read them over and over and over and over and over and over. You test me on the lore of Harry Potter, and I will have you beat, despite the fact that I haven't been active in the fandom since the bitch came out as a TERF. Yeah, I love those books, and I pushed them on my now spouse, and I absolutely fucking regret that. Why? One character, Cho Chang. 1 second. Get the hell down! Excuse me! Get down! That's better. Okay. That's my new son. That's Spencer. I'm going to be putting up a playlist for him in a bit. Yeah, we have two sons now. Anyway, Cho Chang is what I feel is JKR's desperate bid and hope. I think I'm cooking it cold, sorry. For diversity. Like, she wants desperately to say, "Oh, I put people of color in my books, and like that's why I'm okay with Hermione being seen as black, even though in the books I call her white." In denial much? You forgot your own description of your own bloody characters. She's I'll mention it in the reread. But anyway, like the people of color in the series, especially Cho Chang. Cho Chang? Like, how drunk was she to come up with that fucking name? And like, how drunk were her editors to sign off? How white are these people? I should say, not drunk. Because drunk people don't make decisions this stupid and cling on to them and put them in movies still. How white do you have to be to name your only predominant character Cho Chang and also make... Well, okay, she wasn't necessarily the narc. She was the narc in the movies. Because, of course. Because fuck right. But, like, in the books, her friend Marlena was the snitch. But, like, she was completely ostracized for the sins of her friend because she brought her friend in. That's some racist shit, you know? Like, that's some fucking... I'm like, the name of just... 2 surnames. And, like... Okay, and... Sorry, I'm just flabbergasted and pulling at my hair because, like, it's just so fucking frustrating to think about these stupid books and, like, how... Okay, another thing I want you to remember about as a straight person, as a cis person who loves Harry Potter is that recently JKR came out and said that trans people are Death Eaters, and the Death Eaters in the series are meant to represent trans people. And if you still support this woman... And if you still support her politics, and if you still actively buy her shit as an adult and or teenager with a mind that can think and can ascertain what is right or wrong, you're part of the problem. You're supporting a bigot, you're supporting an evil person, and that's wrong. Kids are ignorant at times. Sometimes kids are really fucking smart, and you should never underestimate the intelligence of a child. Just saying. But at the same time, when it comes to their passions, they become blind because they love it so much. And I say this as somebody who knows, as somebody who's had myriad passions in their life, and Harry Potter happened to be one of them. Harry Potter was a way for me and my spouse to connect in high school. They drew pictures of us as a witch, as like witches and wizards, like, and that fucking binary. Like, witches and wizards, there's no in between. I get it. Kids can be kids, but maybe as a parent, try not to introduce your kid to a property that is spearheaded by one of the biggest bigots in our diaspora right now. Like, she's bad. And if you have any respect or any love for any trans person in your life, you will do yourself a favor, do the research on your own, come to your conclusion, and start protecting the people that are trans in your life from this rhetoric and this woman. Please, I am begging you again, stop using Harry Potter costumes for Halloween. Because if you do, like I said in the last year's video, you are sending a message to all trans people that, especially if you're an adult. Kids, we don't really give a shit about because kids are kids. They're silly. They're kids. They're going to love what they love and not really know the implication. Like, how many of us have loved, like, H.P. Lovecraft or, like, absolute assholes growing up and then realize, oh my God, this guy hates everything I was part of. You know, like, and yet there are still plenty of H.P. Lovecraft adaptations by queer people who I so hope that he's turning around in his grave thinking about how queer the adaptations of his shit are now. That's how you do Death of the Author. That's how you do Death of the Author. You wait till they're dead, or you discover their works after they're dead, and you fuck them up. Especially if they were bigoted and racist. Fuck them up. Nobody's doing that with Harry Potter. So if you're an adult, and you respect trans kids, trans adults, don't put your kids in Harry Potter shit. Don't wear it yourself. Just don't. Please think of somebody other than yourself and your thing. You can enjoy Harry Potter in the privacy of your own home or whatever, but don't push it onto other people. Don't push it onto us. It's ironic, isn't it? You're saying how we push our shit onto you, and yet you guys. Anyway, that's another that I've made that conversation. I made that argument 1,000 times, and there's no point now. It's not. This is about Harry Potter anyway. So like, I hope this has helped clarify my video from last year and add a bit of addendums and updates to it. I get it. I get that your kids will sometimes latch onto something that isn't exactly right. The messages in Harry Potter aren't good. I'm sorry, they aren't good. They aren't. And I will get into that further with my reread, which I'm going to restart either coming up or in the new year. But yeah, knock it off. Stop it, please.